And if Clark Cooning is here, I will now turn it over to him for the after show.
Looks, Jim Clark's not here. He might be stuck in barbed wire on one of the borders. Don't know.
Well, then it looks like you're gonna have to put up with me for the after show again. So does anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to start out the after show with?
Well, thanks again, folks. I got to go check in on my store. It's only 6 o'clock here in California, and we're still open for another 3 hours. So
Yeah,
I really enjoyed my time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Jim,
Yes, sir.
Vern here.
Yes, sir.
I got myself a new toy this weekend.
What was that?
Can you see it?
No.
No, I'm holding it up to the camera.
Chris, can you share it for him? I don't see anything.
It's not switching over to, oh, there we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Good gosh, what on earth is that?
That's a little mini router.
My God.
But right now I'm trying to work the bugs out of it to get it to run. I'm pretty close. And I'm going to use this for cutting out parts other than my Sherline CNC. And I've got it set up over here, not running, but just to give you an idea how big it is, I've got a couple of HO scale engines sitting on the thing. This is what it looks like. It's about the size of it.
Wow, pretty tiny.
Oh, hold it still here for a minute. So I'll be presenting some stuff and getting into it as soon as I get it all worked out, cut out some stuff to do some modeling. Just thought I'd give you that advance notice that I do have another toy to play with to show you.
Oh, that's great. It looks like it's fairly large. What is it, about a foot by 3 feet?
No, it's probably about 2 feet long and wait a minute, hang on. Got it here on my other computer. As soon as it pops up, I can give you. Okay, the work area, you guys that are into metric, it's 300 by 180, and the spindle goes up and down 45 millimeters. So that kind of gives you an idea of what size area. I think it'd be great for HO to cut out like walls and stuff like that. I'm going to be working on something, a special piece of tooling for that eventually to see if I can do that. People are probably wondering what this thing costs. I got it off Amazon for $240. The whole complete unit. And of course, then you've got to learn the software to run it and stuff like that. But that's not too bad. It's just getting it going if you don't know anything about hooking machines up to a computer.
What was the brand name of that again?
It's the ComGrow Robo CNC router. You'll find it on Amazon.com if you do a search on it.
Vern, what programming language does that use? Or how do you learn the program?
It uses Gerbil, GRBL. That's what's on the computer that runs the machine. But I use what was I using? I was using that to transfer. There's many software packages available that will allow you to transfer your G code onto the machine so it'll cut. Right now, I'm still playing with the original software, which is Candle, I believe they call it. GBRL Candle. And that will, you have to import a G code into that. So basically you will need to learn a drafting program, then you will need a CAM program that'll take that DXF file, turn it into G code, which is then put into the the computer on the machine to run what you're gonna do. There's a couple of good videos on YouTube on this machine itself. There's one person, she calls herself Aurora Tech. It's a young, very young Oriental girl that shows how to put one of these together, and she does a demonstration run of some stuff on it. So there's one thing these people like to think that these can do. The funny thing is when I read some of the comments on Amazon, one guy asked if he could do a 80% lower. It took me a minute to figure out what that was. Everybody know what an 80% lower is? It's the bottom part of an AR-15 that you finish so you can have a complete gun. And no way will this machine ever be able to do that. You need a Shoreline mill in your basement to do that with. So I got a kick out of that. This machine weighs 16.5 pounds. So if you do anything big with it, like milling something big and you really put the power to it, the thing will dance around on the table. That was one thing that I'd like to get across to people. These are hobby machines. These will not do what your big 2, 3, 4, 10-ton machines do that are made out of cast iron. These are strictly made out of aluminum and screwed together. So the rigidity of this machine is not that great, but it's enough to do small stuff. You could probably mill out stuff like 10,000 to 20,000 thick brass on this. Once I get into it, I'll do a little demonstration on it, and I'll probably have it up on my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
So
but for a hobbyist, 10, 20,000 brass, that's sizable.
well, 20. I worked on it. Started working on a TT scale caboose, and I used I think it was 32,000 stick brass, 32nd inch thick,
Yeah.
or 32nd, whatever that is. That worked out pretty good. I've got, I don't think I've got that on my website. I also have a website that I post a lot of this stuff on. So, but
If that
that's
was, and what scale was that in scale?
my scale that I work in.
No, the one that you said you built the caboose in?
TT scale, it's
AT, yeah, okay.
it's 1/10 scale, 120 to 1. It's a little
And
bit,
And you,
than N scale and a little bit smaller than HO.
and you built that in 32nd brass?
Yes,
Okay, you must have weighed a pound.
no, didn't weigh that much.
You didn't have to worry about it falling off the track.
I think that's the 30,000 thickness isn't bad. They've been trying to cut 1/8 inch thick aluminum on this. But one of the problems with aluminum that a lot of people don't know that try to cut on this is there's many different grades of aluminum. And there's a hard aluminum that it cuts like butter if you have the right cutter. And then there's aluminum that they use, I believe it's used for jig fixturing. That aluminum is very gummy. It's like, if any of you ever tried to cut a frame apart on an Athearn, it's almost that type of a gummy metal like they use on the Athearn locomotive. So it won't handle that. That you're pushing the machine beyond its limits when you're doing that. So that's what I've got to show for tonight for the pre-show, the after show.
Fantastic. I've never seen one of those before.
There's a lot. Well, I'll tell you what, there's another thing that eventually I'm going to get for this. And I think that a lot of the modelers might be very interested in this. This machine, you can also attach I think it was a 10-watt diode laser, which allows you to cut out material. The only problem with this machine is the fact that you're going to need an air ventilation system if you're burning wood, or you're going to stink the house up.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody have any questions that come to mind right now? I'll try to answer them.
Yeah, this is Fran. This is I'm not familiar with the CAM software, but is it easy enough to tell the machine to do multiple passes if you are using like 1/8 inch or 16th inch?
The, what you do is I have a CAD program that I draw things up. Then my CAM program is called CAMBAM. It's a British outfit that put this out. You transfer the DXF file to that program, and then you start doing your line, what you want to do, and you put your parameters in, the size of your tool, how thick the part is, how big the piece is that you're going to mill on, and then what you do is you can tell it as many steps as you want to cut into the metal itself. You can go 5 steps, you can go 1 step. It doesn't matter. 1 step, obviously, you're going to be buying a lot of tools because you're going to have a lot of little pieces laying around.
Yeah,
So does that answer your question?
yeah, it does. I have to get more familiar with the CAM process someday.
Well, like I said, you need a CAD program to draw up your whatever you want to build. Then you need the CAM program to generate the G code, which then gets put in the computer on the machine. It's kind of a long process. So.
Right, I can do the CAD, and I do 3D printing, so I can do the CAD.
Okay,
But-
well, it's on the same concept as 3D printing.
Yeah.
So,
Was the actual motor, the router motor, included on that price, or do you use your own router?
no, it comes complete. When you get the machine, you put it together and you can start cutting right away. They even send along, if you take a quick look at, you go to Amazon.com, don't even bother signing in. If you just go to it and then your search.
Oh, Phil just put a link in for it in the chat.
And
Is it,
That's
Yeah.
actually a link to the company website, not to Amazon. That's actually the company itself.
Yeah, Congrove itself is a company. You could put that in, but I think you can actually, if you just do that on Amazon, you can go and it says there, visit the Congrove store. So you can they actually link to the store, to their site. Now, this machine was put together by a bunch of young Chinese people. They had a picture of them. It was done under a crowdfunding type of operation, and this has been out about a year or so. So, I like it. I like the machine. It's small. It just fits right on a tabletop, and it's going to be able to do what I wanted. Plus, there's going to be 2 other things I'm going to try that I haven't seen anybody do on these yet that I want to try out. And I'm not telling what it is until I try in case I fail.
mhm.
That's
Does
all.
it
I
come
got.
with any screw clamps for clamping the work down?
Yes, it comes with those.
Oh, okay, I see the breakdown. Pretty cool.
Got a box of goodies here. This is the that, and you got the this is cut. Oh yeah, right. The screw.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, even comes with a brush to clean off your chips. So it comes with all the tools, wrenches, and stuff like that. So I think the package, if you're really interested in it and want to try it out, I think it's a nice little package. It's about the price of a DCC engine if you really think about it.
Yeah.
So I'll try to get it ironed out to get it to work properly, and maybe sometime down the road, if Jim can fit me in somewhere, or maybe even after a show, I can demonstrate it or do something and show you what I did on it.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let me know when you get it fixed, set up.
It might take a while. These things, trying to find electrical bugs. Now the problem is the code that the machine uses is an open source code, something like was it JMIR that they use for DCC? And one guy
Yeah.
commented to me on it, but that's about as, that's why he doesn't go on it, because it's so open source, things change. Then you try this and it doesn't work. And he said it was pretty frustrating. So, but the support has been pretty good from the company. As a matter of fact, they contacted me because I've been doing a write-up on one of the e-magazines on the internet. And they wanted to know if I would, push their machine and I'd get price breaks and stuff like that. And I says, oh, sorry, I can't do that. It's not an advertisement place for your machine. So, but I see what happens.
Yeah, I really appreciate that attitude when they're
Mhm.
trying to get good reviews by experts who are
Well,
really being bribed with
well,
merchandise.
The thing is with a lot of these machines is what I've seen on YouTube is, I think probably a majority what people buy these for. This thing will actually do like pictures and stuff like that. You get the laser for it and it'll actually do, I don't know what they call that. It'll burn the surface so you get a picture on it. It'll do that. It'll do it on all sorts of different material too. So like I say, if you're interested, just go to YouTube, type in the Robo machine, CNC machine, and you'll come up with a lot of videos on some of these. So,
Yep, that's another good rabbit hole, I guess.
yep. Okay, I'm done.
Thanks.
You did a great job. Let me know, seriously, let me know when you get it set up and want to demonstrate it.
Sure.
Ted, what's for dinner? Usual answer, I don't know yet. I'll know in about, I know about a half hour when I go in for supper.
Well, Clark usually asks if there's anybody new here that hasn't talked before. Is there? We'd love to hear from you.
Well, this sounds like a good time to disconnect YouTube, Jim. So we have a 20-second delay. If you give your final goodbyes, I'll disconnect in about 20 seconds later.
All right, that sounds good to me. Well, thanks so much for coming this evening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Most important, I hope you learned something. See you next time. And thanks again so much for being here this evening.